So today I'm going to show you how to convert the UTM coordinates into degrees coordinates and the degrees coordinates into UTM coordinates by using Microsoft Excel. It is a very simple way. So if it is something that you want to learn, make sure that you watch until the end. And not just that, I created a Patreon link. So if you want to support my work, you want to support this channel, just go to the description below and click so as you can become the supporter or the patron. With that out of the way, let's get started. So we are going to use two tools. So the first one is the coordinate converter Excel, this one, and also we have a sample data. So this is our sample data. As you can see, we have the degrees coordinates that we want to convert into UTM, and the other one is the UTM coordinates that we want to convert them back into degrees coordinates. Okay, so we are going to use this tool, which is coordinate converter, of course, which was created by these people or group of people, the ArchiGigs or GeoGigs. So credit to them for creating this amazing tool. And I'll make sure that I include the link to this template or to this Excel tool in the description below as well. Okay, so with this tool, as you can see, we have like several worksheets here. Okay, several worksheets, but as far as our tutorial goes, we want to convert the UTM to degrees and of course decimal degrees to UTM. Now let's get started with UTM to degrees, and let me open my sample data. Let me open my sample data in this folder, sample. Okay, so these are the sample data. Okay, so for now, let me start with the UTM. So I want to convert this UTM coordinates into degrees coordinates. Okay, with that, let me first copy this. So before I even copy, let me show you something. The very important settings that you need to make sure that it is set correctly, it is this one. So we have two settings here. So the first one is zone. Make sure that you select the UTM zone that is suitable to you. For me, I am living in UTM zone 37. Okay, and note that I'm living in the southern hemisphere. So if you are living in the northern hemisphere, then just click this and this drop down here will appear. Make sure that you select northern hemisphere. But for me, I am in the southern hemisphere. So with that, let me copy my sample data here. Okay, I want to select only few data. Okay, just this 20. Let me copy this few first, and again let me go back here to my to this Excel tool, and then let me paste them here. Okay, so these ones here I'm not interested with. So this is where my coordinates end. Okay, this is where my coordinates end, and I don't want to copy anything below. So with these ones I am not interested. Okay, so these are the coordinates that I want to convert for now. Okay, so remember, I set my zone and my hemisphere. That is very important. So as you can see, as soon as I paste my UTM coordinates, in around this area we have the decimal degrees. So as soon as I paste my coordinates, then this Excel tool converted my UTM coordinates into decimal degrees, and this is the converted decimal degrees coordinates. So let me select these ones. Okay, let me select, and again let me open my Excel, and let me paste it somewhere here. Okay, so these were the UTM coordinates, and this is the converted latitude to longitude or the decimal degrees coordinates. Okay, so another question that we need to ask ourselves: what if you have more data? But for now, as you can see, our Excel tool is limited only 30 rows of coordinates. So again, it is simple. Let me show you first. Let me show you. I want to undo. Okay, so what we need to do So for the case, if you have a lot of coordinates and you want to convert both of them at once, let me select both of these. So now I assume that I have more than 30 rows of coordinates. So from here, again, we are going to enter our columns into these eastings and northings. Remember, zone and hemisphere settings should be set before you even proceed. So from here, I'll just copy my coordinates in this area. So if I scroll down, you can see we have way more coordinates, but our formulas, unfortunately, we don't have. So in this area, we don't have any formula. What can we do? Can you go and just select these ones and then double click? Well, it's not work like that. What we need to do is, first thing first, if you look close around this area, you can see we have column F, G, and then we don't have column H. In a simple way, column H is there, but it is hidden. What we need to do is to make sure that we hide this column H and of course the other columns that are hidden as well. So what I can do is to double click this area. Let me double click it just to make sure that all of the hidden columns are unhidden. So GH, so now, so FGH, so each and every column now is unhidden. So what we can do now is to select these few rows and double click them. Okay, double click. So for now, if you can see here closely, it's like everything now is perfect. Okay, so if you want then to extract your degrees coordinate, you just select these ones. Okay, just let me select this. So these are the converted degrees coordinates. These are the converted degrees coordinates. Let me select both of them. Let me copy and let me open my sample data and of course paste them here. Okay, so if you can even take this UTM, this altitude or elevation data and paste it there. Okay, so let me insert. These ones here are the original data. And again, these ones here are the converted data. So it is simple as that. Again, guys, just to recap, is that the first step is to make sure that you set your zone, UTM zone, and the hemisphere. So if you are living in northern hemisphere, just click this drop down menu and select the northern hemisphere. Okay, and again, if you have more data or if you have more than 30 rows of coordinates, what you need to do is the same approach. Make sure that you unhide the hidden column. Okay, make sure that you unhide them. Then after that, you go and select each and every row, you double click, because if you don't unhide them, you will end up with very wrong answers, and that is something that you don't want to see. So that is the first approach, or the first part of this video. So the next part, I'm going to show you how to convert the decimal degrees into UTM coordinates. So decimal degrees into UTM coordinates. So for now, I'm not going to use this worksheet. I'm going to select this decimal degrees to UTM here. Okay, so this is what we have. Again, do we have any other settings that we need to set? Of course, it is there. As you can see, you have the hemisphere. You need to set the hemisphere. So for now, of course, by default, it is in southern hemisphere. But if you are living in the northern hemisphere, just click this down menu, or so just click this menu here and select your northern hemisphere. But for me, I'm living in the southern hemisphere, then I'm going to select this. We are going to do the same thing. First thing first, let me select a few coordinates, degrees coordinates. Let me select a few first. Okay, so latitude, longitude, so let me select a few. And again, from here, let me paste my coordinates here. Okay, but because I have only few coordinates, I don't have to go and unhide the hidden columns because everything now is okay. But if you have more, then you need to go and unhide the hidden columns. For now, I assume that I have only these few coordinates. So if you have few coordinates, then I'll just select my converted coordinates here. I'm not very sure if, okay, my coordinate. So this is what I have. And then I need to copy it and paste it here. Okay, so the next question is, what if you have more latitude and longitude rows? Okay, so by default here, just like we had what we had previously, is that we have only 31 rows of coordinates. So what if you have more? What if you have more? So again, we are going to do the same approach. Let me select my coordinates and select both. No, just latitude and longitude, leave alone the elevation data. Okay, so this is what I have. Let me select them, and again, let me open my Excel tool and paste my coordinate here. Okay, so as you can see here, it is written enter your coordinates. So I entered my coordinates in this column. So if you can see it closely, you can see now we have some few rows, they don't have coordinates. Remember, you don't go and select these few columns and then you double click. That is very wrong approach. What you need to do is to make sure that you unhide the hidden columns. Okay, unhide the hidden columns, and then if each and every hidden column is not hidden anymore, then you can just go and select and double click. So for me, as you can see here, we have like two areas. So this area here, we don't have like EF, we don't have G, and some other columns here, they are hidden. So I'll start with this one. Let me unhide everything. You can just double click, just like this, double click it. Okay, so for now, EFG. So at least in this area, we don't have any issue. So let me go back here and see if we have any other problem here. As you can see, we have again in this area AF, but there are some few columns that are hidden in this area. So again, we are going to do the same thing. Let me double click this to unhide the hidden columns. So for now, everything is okay. So EAFAG. Okay, so everything now is okay. So after everything now is okay, after everything now is okay, what we need to do is to make sure that we copy these columns, these rows rather, and double click. So as soon as you double click here, formulas will be copied to these additional rows. Okay, so for that, you can go here and select the UTM column. Okay, so remember, we are converting decimal degrees into UTM coordinates. So these are the converted UTM coordinates. So I need to select this, and if you can see here closely, as soon as we pasted our data, this Excel tool even select our zone and even our band. Okay, so for me, everything now is done. Let me select my coordinates all the way. Okay, everything now is selected. Let me copy and open my sample, and again let me paste it here. Okay, so now everything is perfectly fine. So what you can do, if you want, then you can even copy this UTM column, this altitude elevation column and paste it here. So if you are working in the project, then this is what we have. Again, let me do this. So this one's here were the original data, and these ones are the converted data. So it is as simple as that, guy. Okay, so lastly, I'm going to show you how to convert our data from decimal degrees to degrees, minutes, and seconds. Okay, so the same approach we're going to use. I have my sample data here, my sample data, and again, I have my Excel tool. So what I need to do from here, I need to go straight to decimal degrees to UTM. Okay, so decimal degrees to UTM. So this is the worksheet that we are going to use. Okay, so let me copy my decimal degrees coordinates. Okay, so this is my sample data. I'm going to select these coordinates here, just a few of them. Then let me copy, and again, let me open this Excel. As you can see here, decimal degrees to UTM, but what we are mainly interested is this area here, not the UTM, the decimal degrees and seconds. So from here, I'll just paste my data. You can see here, enter your data. So I'm going to paste my data in this area. So I'll just paste it. Okay, so if you look at it closely, you can see these are the converted coordinates. Okay, so I need to copy these ones here. Okay, I need to copy these ones. But remember, the very important thing is to make sure that your hemisphere is set to the appropriate hemisphere. So if you are living in the northern hemisphere, then make sure that your hemisphere is set to northern hemisphere. But for me, I'm living in southern hemisphere, so this is my value. This is very important settings. Otherwise, you are going to get the wrong answers, and you don't want that. And again, this is our data. Let me copy. And open my Excel. Okay, so these are the data. Okay, so these are the data. As you can see, this is what we have. Okay, and again, the other thing that we need to ask ourselves, what if you have more rows? Because for now, what we are having is these few rows here. Okay, so up to 30, if I'm not mistaken, 31. But what if you have more coordinates? Let's say you have 100 rows. This is what I'm going to show you right now. Let me go back to my sample data and select as many columns as I can, as many rows as I can. Okay, let me minimize, and again, the same approach. Let me paste my data in these two columns. So from here, I'll just right click and paste. You can see for now we have all of this data. Okay, and not just that, you can also see that in these few rows here we don't have any formula. Okay, we don't have any formula. So what we need to do is that you cannot just go and of course select this and drag. It's not work like that, otherwise you're going to get the wrong answers. So what you need to do is simple. If you look at this area closely, remember our interest is decimal degrees and not the UTM. But if you look at this area closely, you can see we have some few data, we have some few columns that are hidden. And what we need to do before you drag your formulas like this, what you need to do first is to make sure that these few columns here are not hidden. So in simple language, you need to unhide them. And to do that, what you need to do is to double click this. Okay, so let me do this. Let me double click. You can even right click. You can even right click here and select unhide. Okay, so I think everything now is okay. So what we need to do from here, because we are interested in decimal degrees, the only formula that has the The only formulas that has impact to this degree, minutes, and second are these ones. So from here, what I need to do is to select this area and of course drag them all the way to my data. Okay, so this is how you do it. But if, let's say, for example, you are dealing with the UTM, then you will just go here and hide the these few columns. But because we are dealing with only degree and the minutes and seconds, then that's more than enough. Okay, so from here, what I need to do is to copy all of this and select my data. Okay, so it is in degrees, minutes, and second. Let me open my sample data and paste them somewhere here. Oh, I need to do it again. Select all of it, including the latitude and longitude. Then a copy. I'll just paste them here. Okay, so that is it, guys. So that is it. So the same knowledge you can use to convert your data, if you have, you can use the same knowledge to convert your data from GMS to decimal degrees, or decimal degrees to GMS. That being said, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.